this question is what challenges as a writer or project manager, because usually the writer is the project manager of a comic, in terms of funding, distribution, and finding readers for your book? What are the challenges for that? So I'm going to start with Nandor on this one.
Everything.
All of the above.
I mean, it's just like you really in the indie comic scene, when you're trying to make a comic. I mean, you know, I would love to say that, you know, the hardest part about making your comic is making it, but that's really the easiest part, and should be the most enjoyable part about the process, because the hard part comes after you have been working with an artist and you're ready to, you know, share it with the world, and you're trying to get eyes on it, and you're trying to have people get excited about it and hype it up, and you really have to believe in yourself. And you know, the work never stops. It feels like it never stops. And so, you know, I think as the writer and as the person who is really championing your book, you really do have to believe in it, and you have to love it, you know, and not in a way where you're like, oh, you know, it's the greatest thing that's ever, you know, been created, you know, in the face of the earth, and it makes, you know, all these other books look bad. It's more so just like, I really love what I'm doing, and I think other people will love it too, and I want to share it with the world. And you hope that people will see that and see that you're passionate about it, because a lot of the time, you know, us writer types, we are very much, you know, introverts, and we you know, I mean, that's why we're writers. It's like we have all of these things to say, but we'd rather put it in a presentable package and give it to you and run away, you know, and not talk about it. It's like we want you to wrestle with it because we've wrestled with it, and you know, then we'll go from there. And so trying to, you know, I love, you know, watching special features, you know, for movies, and learning about behind the curtain, you know, and seeing what how the, you know, the pudding is made, and like the process of it all. And I remember, you know, watching those things and watching writers talk about their stories, you know, during interviews, you know, for whatever it could be. And I always thought, you know, I want to be that guy. Like, I want to be the guy that made the thing that no one really knows about, you know, but they love their work, you know. And so trying to be the person that's always out there and talking about your stories is really difficult. And so, like, you know, for me, you know, to answer some of the challenges, it's like, you have to, the good thing is when you're creating your product and you're working with an artist and you see your art, that is such a great way to share your work, you know, is because you're excited about the art. Like, I love my comic not just because the story, and I think the story is good, but I love it because I'm working with this amazing artist. And that's where you can kind of crack that code and be like, you're kind of your own biggest fan in a way, because you're looking at that and someone else is working with you and you have a team. And, you know, a lot of the time the artists that you're working with, they may not have a big following either. And so you have to like kind of carry that weight as well if they're not promoting things. You know, maybe they're really busy, maybe they're working on multiple projects at the same time. But that's always been sort of an adrenaline rush for me, is when I get art back from the person I'm working with, and I can be like, I want to share this with the world, so that you're not only talking about yourself and how great your story is or whatever, you're talking about how amazing this art is and how excited you are to work with this person and how excited you are for this person to get work, you know, and to share their work out. And that has always been a really great, like, helpful way for me to be like, you know, because I don't like talking about myself. So it's like, I want to talk about other people. I want to talk about how great this artist is, and I want to share this work out. And so, you know, getting on shows and talking about the art and talking about your story and sharing out art that, you know, is a part of your book, and, you know, meeting people at the comic book store and talking about stories and things like that. All of that has, you know, really helped me kind of get out of my shell and be like, okay, no one else is going to do this. Like it's up to you. It really falls, you know, up to you. You have to make it happen. It's like you have to make it happen. And just like the story, you had to, you know, put in the time and the work to sit down and put in all of that work into the story. once it's done, you have to do the same thing with promotion and with getting it out there and sharing it with the world. So yeah, you have to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes from the writer. I find, like, artists do help, but like the writer is driving everything.
Yes.
Tony, same question. What challenges have you faced?
When I first read this question, my answer was the internet. That's my biggest challenge is the internet. I mean, yeah, because the internet is just full of noise.
It is. And trying to stand out is the hardest thing in the world, especially if you're selling something that no one wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you just sort of feel like, you feel like Logan Paul will give you a really bad comic first before your comic gets to be in front of somebody. So that is really disheartening. Especially when you like work so hard and you spend so much time trying to make something that stands out, packs a punch, and is like very immediately identifiable, something really good. So, just trying to push against my introverted nature. And just constantly trying to basically fake it and constantly get out there and tell anybody who will give me 5 seconds on a microphone about the book. Always just trying to get out there. And then once all that promotion is done, I mean, it affects me so mentally that like I have to take like, long multiple hour like meditation sessions just like decompress from all of it, because it's just too much for me. Like I can't focus. Everything is just like going a mile a minute because I'm just constantly trying to promote, and I'm using social media way more than I ever would. After all that, it's just like I just have to decompress. So trying to push through the noise of the internet, it's exhausting. It's something I try to do.
I will find myself like after I'm done, with the campaign and doing all that promotion, I'll find myself like sitting on my couch or right before I go to bed, and I'll pick up my phone, and I don't even know why I'm picking it up. I'm just so used to promoting. You're so used to like, oh, I need to like make this post or I need to like share it out. And once it's all done, like it's such a weird feeling. You're like, wait a second, I don't have to like say anything about my book anymore. It's crazy.
The best day of running a campaign is the day after it's over.
The day after.
Yeah. my favorite day.
For me, it's like, I can't send it now. This is the worst time to send it. Like, it's like 11 at night or something. Like, no one's gonna see it, So you try to wait for that perfect time the next day to send it, and then you miss that. It's like, damn it, That's what I